My ex-wife claimed my son isn't mine to take the house, but I showed her who's boss. Hey, I'm Nate, 34 years old. A couple of years ago, my life was textbook suburban bliss. Wife? Check. Cozy house? Check. Adorable 7-year-old son named Brian? Check. It was the kind of life that made my parents proud and my neighbors jealous. The American dream, right? Yeah, well, turns out it was more like the American scam. It was a regular Friday afternoon, or so I thought. I walked through the door, still wearing my tie and dreaming about the leftover lasagna waiting for me in the fridge. Usually, Brian's Legos were scattered everywhere, like a booby trap, and Monica was parked on the couch scrolling Instagram as if it were a full-time job. But not today. Today, Monica was in the kitchen, clutching a wine glass like it was her emotional support animal. She didn't even say hi, which in retrospect should have been my first clue that something was off. Instead, she turned to me and said, "We need to talk. Now, let me set the scene for you." The kitchen light was flickering like some low-budget horror movie. Her face had that weird combination of fake pity and smugness, and the wine bottle was already halfway empty. Whatever this was, it wasn't going to end with, "I got us concert tickets." "Okay, what's up?" I said, trying to sound casual while my brain was already screaming, "Abort mission! Run!" And then she dropped it, the bomb that would blow my so-called dream life to pieces. "I don't think Brian is yours." "Excuse me, what?" For a solid 10 seconds, my brain completely short-circuited. My ears were ringing, my chest felt like it was about to explode, and all I could think was, is this some kind of messed up prank? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. "What the hell are you talking about?" I asked, my voice shaking. Monica sighed dramatically, like she was the victim here. She launched into this long rehearsed speech about timelines and doubts, but honestly, I couldn't hear much over the sound of my blood boiling. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, she hit me with the knockout punch. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. I'm filing for full custody and keeping the house." For a second, I laughed. Because what else do you do when your life turns into a dumpster fire in real time? But the laughter didn't last long, because I realized she was dead serious. Monica wasn't just trying to shake things up. She was trying to blow up my life, take my kid, and waltz off with the house I busted my ass to afford. And just like that, she walked out of the room, leaving me standing there like some clueless idiot in a bad soap opera. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind was running a million miles an hour, replaying every moment of our marriage, and trying to figure out how the hell we got here. But one thing was crystal clear. Monica wasn't going to stop until she had everything, and I wasn't about to let her win. The week after Monica dropped her little, "Brian might not be yours" bombshell felt like living in a tornado. Not the cool kind where you wake up in Oz surrounded by singing munchkins. No, this was the kind where your house gets flattened, and you're left digging through the rubble wondering what the hell just happened. Monica packed up her stuff and Brian, moving into her sister's house under the guise of sorting things out. Sorting what out exactly? How to lie better. Meanwhile, I was left in our eerily quiet home, staring at Brian's Legos and wondering how my life had turned into a bad daytime TV plot. Enter Kyle, my best friend since college, current lawyer, and the guy you call when your life is spiraling and you need someone to channel all your rage into cold, hard justice. I called him, told him everything, and his response was classic Kyle. "Let's bury her." Music to my ears. Now, Monica wasn't wasting any time. Her lawyer filed court papers faster than a teenager liking memes on their phone. She painted me as some deadbeat dad who was so absent, I might as well have been living in another dimension. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top. Hints that I'd been unfaithful. The irony of that one was so thick, you could spread it on toast. Kyle, on the other hand, was already 10 steps ahead. "First things first," he said. "We get a paternity test." I didn't want to question Brian's paternity because, in my heart, he was my son. But Monica had dragged us into this circus, and I wasn't going to sit back and play the clown. While we waited for the results, Kyle and I decided to do a little digging of our own. And by digging, I mean we unearthed a steaming pile of Monica's dirty laundry. It didn't take long to find her secret. Turns out Monica had been seeing some guy behind my back. And not just any guy. He was a gym trainer. Let's call him Chad, because of course his name was Chad. If there were a support group for walking cliches, Chad would be the president. The dude had biceps bigger than his brain, and apparently enough charm to convince Monica to fund his protein shake addiction. Kyle and I found everything. Bank statements showing regular money transfers, receipts for fancy dinners, and, of course, cringe-worthy text messages. Highlights included Monica gushing about how Chad's dedication to fitness was inspiring, while she told me we couldn't afford date nights because we were on a budget. Then, the paternity test results came in. Brian was 100% my son. Relief hit me like a tidal wave, but Monica's response? She doubled down. "This isn't about paternity," she said in court, trying to sound all self-righteous. "It's about Brian's stability." Translation: I still want the house, and I'll lie through my teeth to get it. But here's the thing about lies. They crumble under pressure. And Kyle? He's like a hydraulic press. He subpoenaed Monica's financial records, dug through her messages, and laid out the kind of evidence that would make even the boldest liar sweat. Romantic texts, late-night Venmo transfers, luxury restaurant bills, it was all there. "Let her dig her grave deeper," Kyle said, grinning like a cat about to pounce. And oh boy, did she oblige. Monica kept up her charade, acting like she was the saintly mother fighting for her son's future, while we quietly stacked up proof that she was nothing more than a fraud with a Chad addiction. Court day arrived, and Monica showed up looking like she was auditioning for Real Housewives of Desperation. Dramatic dress, oversized sunglasses, and an attitude that screamed main character energy. Her lawyer kicked things off, painting me as a neglectful father and hinting I had a drinking problem. Hilarious, considering I don't even drink. Then it was Kyle's turn, and he was ready to drop the hammer. "First, the paternity test," he announced, showing Brian was 100% my son. Monica's face fell for a split second before she pivoted. "This isn't about paternity," she sniffed. "It's about Brian's well-being." Kyle wasn't buying it. He whipped out her financial records, exposing all the money she'd spent on Chad, the gym trainer, while telling me we were on a budget. The courtroom got real quiet when Kyle pulled up her texts. One read, "Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Nate's working late, so he won't notice the charges." Monica's fake tears dried up faster than spilled wine. The judge wasn't impressed. He granted me shared custody, dismissed Monica's house claim, and hinted her finances might need further investigation. I walked out feeling like I'd just won a championship. "Monica?" She stormed off, defeated. "Game over, Monica. Better luck next lie." You'd think Monica would back off after that courtroom humiliation, but nope. She started a smear campaign on social media, claiming I'd manipulated the system and stolen her child. Friends and even distant relatives began to message me, asking if it was true. That's when I decided to go nuclear. Using the evidence from court, I wrote a detailed post explaining everything. The affair, the lies, and the fact that Monica had tried to frame me for things I didn't do. I didn't tag her, but people connected the dots. The post went viral in our community, and Monica's reputation tanked. Even her own sister publicly called her out for her lies. But I wasn't done. I filed a countersuit for defamation and damages, and with Kyle's help, we proved her lies had cost me job opportunities and peace of mind. The settlement wasn't massive, but it was enough to cover my legal fees and then some. Now, Monica's stuck renting a tiny apartment with Chad, who, surprise, dumped her when the money ran out. Meanwhile, I've got full custody of Brian on weekends, the house is legally mine, and I'm finally free of her toxicity. Revenge isn't always the answer, but damn, does it feel good when it's served ice cold.